Okay, so last game of the preseason, Manchester United against Fiorentina, and we just drew the game 1-1 until full time and then won on the penalties. Was I wouldn't say it was an amazing game, all that, but personally, I think that there's been a lot of positives that we can take from the preseason as a whole, both the tour in Malaysia, in US, and the final preseason game in at Old Trafford. But I think we should just first start talking with the game. What are the positives that you saw in this game?
Okay, so for me, there's a lot more energy and confidence in the team.
A lot more
Even
energy compared to last season, or compared to previous games, or compared
compared
to
to
which?
last season,
Okay,
compared to
okay,
last season, there's way
okay.
more confidence, there's way more energy, more passion, let's say, and then the added quality from our new signings, it's
Mhm.
showing definitely, and this is them at let's say 20% of chemistry. So I'm expecting a lot more from them. It's been a joy to watch some
Who,
phases.
who would you say your player of that match was?
I personally have to give it to Bruno.
You have? Why?
I have to give it to Bruno.
No, personally,
He
I
always
think
finds the way to
I
stand
think
out for me.
I think ironically, I was going to give it to David as the amount of the match because I think we had like three point blank chances that he saved, or was it two
Yeah.
that he saved? So I think he still kept them in the game. So for me, I'd have given it to him. But on the
Nah,
United side,
no,
one
no
person that I
argument.
would
I,
have
I could
given the
accept
man of
that.
the
Though.
match would have been Mount, because he was Mount was just everywhere in that game. He was starting the press and he had so much energy, like
Yeah.
throughout, so right from the start of the game till like he was taking off. So I don't see why you wouldn't give it to him. He was usually like starting like the presses, and he was always winning the ball back, like whether in the second half of the field, or in like the third half of the field as well. So
Yeah.
personally, I think I'd have given it to Mount. Really,
Oh, so the thing is, yeah, I actually I see that because he was everywhere. He was working hard. Do you know at some point I had worries that this guy should not come and overdo it in preseason and get injured before the actual season starts. Nah,
it,
he
it,
was he
that
was putting it.
that's what I was
He put
thinking
in a
of as
serious
well.
shift.
That's what I was thinking of as well. Because like every time there was one time that he fell or he was fouled, and I was like, God, that big, like nothing. And I think the kind of going into next season and trying to select who you think should be our starting 11, which we're going to talk about in a few
Yeah.
minutes. But like, I think Mount's game and what he offers to this team is him. I believe is him coming off the bench while we are winning, because if you are winning a game and you're trying to control the game, the energy that he can add into the game and him running all around the field, I believe is something that he would be able to help to just maintain the composure and being able to hold
That
on to
for
the
sure,
lead.
for sure.
That's
The
what I think
pressure, the
Mount.
momentum, and everything.
I mean, he did create he played a few key passes, the pass to Bruno for Bruno to create a chance. Like
Yeah.
he connected the game real well. Like he's not a ball carrier that is going to like run halfway across the field to try and like create a chance like Cunha would. But he just has that 1-2 touches where he can just create something that we wouldn't expect him to.
Yeah.
So which is something that I really liked about him. But
Yeah. His
in
football
terms of
IQ is something.
yeah, in terms of the new signings like Cunha and Mbuemo, I have to get used to that pronunciation. Like,
Yeah.
what do you have to say about two of them and like going into next
Okay.
season?
So from their performances, it's clear Mbeumo still has like a little bit of like catching up to do fitness wise compared to the rest, and he
Mm-hmm.
showed a little bit today. But Cunha, I think Cunha is ready. Cunha is ready. They're going to be incredible next season. To be completely honest, like their first touch, like when they get the ball or when a defender lobs the ball onto them, it's so
Mm-hmm.
easy for them. And then I see things, I see them doing things that usually I think only Bruno can do. But now Like there are like three people that have similar level of quality. I'm not saying the same, but like there are things that they pull off that I'm like, thank you, we've been needing this. So yeah, it's
Exactly.
really nice. It's
Exactly. I
refreshing.
agree with you. Which is something that I've mentioned like so many times in so many episodes last season is that like this increases the bar. And a lot of the time, if you notice, when not maybe when we're on the counter, but when Mbumo is on the ball and he's is driving with the ball, you'll notice that three players follow him because they know the danger that he can, sort of like create. So three players follow
Exactly.
him. In previous seasons, that used to just be Bruno. There, maybe Bruno, Ahmad, yeah, maybe just Bruno and Ahmad. But there isn't really anyone that we had in the team that could drag that amount of players with them. And if you are able to move three players with you and they're able to just somehow get the ball away from them, that's so much space they are creating on the other side of the field,
Exactly.
which is something
Exactly.
that we lacked a lot last season. Where it's something I'm really getting excited about this season. I'm not fully in there yet. I still feel we need one or two more positions, which is obviously like the midfield
No,
and
I agree. I concur.
a goalkeeper. I think midfield obviously is the priority, and I can manage with going into the season with either Onana or Bayern, but um, midfield is 100% a position that we do need to get. So like that's now seeing that okay, because if you notice that Cunha actually had a quiet game aside the shots that he had compared to Mbumo. Mbumo lacked fitness, but he was more involved in the game because he created like four chances. He had
Yeah,
four key
but
passes
don't
like in the
forget
first half.
set pieces,
Yeah,
crosses,
Sepi, it was still saying
was
whether it's set pieces or
perfectly
not, he was more
perfectly
involved in
hit.
the game. And the set pieces
Exactly.
weren't a direct one. They were indirect, so where he would pass to Ahmad and then Ahmad would give him the ball back.
Roll it
So
for
it
him.
was
Yeah.
like it's the fact that he was able to get to the player like all the times in the first half. I didn't check the stats in the second half, but all the
Yeah,
times
it's
in the first half.
four out of four.
So that shows that shows his involvement in the game compared to Cunha, which
Yeah.
is not necessarily a bad thing because there will be days where Mbumo will play teams that will be able to cover Mbumo where he wouldn't be able to perform so well, and rather than being stuck and not having anything to do and not being able to create, you see have players like Bruno, Cunha, Ahmad that are on the team that still can still show some sort
Produce.
of like danger in opposition, which is something that we lacked so much last season. Whereas is that once you lock Ahmad up, like that's almost the end of the game because you don't have that explosiveness in any of the players. Bruno doesn't have that explosiveness. He can create chances, can give key passes, can create something out of nothing, but he didn't have that explosiveness. And if we have a player like Cunha who can carry the ball so much, which is something that I love so much about him, is that like he
Exactly.
has that strong um center where you can't just body him off the ball, that he just keeps carrying the ball and carry the ball like from the halfway line in between like the defenders and try to create like a chance. And Bruno as well, just seeing a player trying to make a run like 50 yards out and things like that. So these are a lot of positives that I think we can take um, with these new players that we've gotten and going into next season. But is there anything else that you'd like to sort of like add to that?
Yeah. Also, like as you mentioned, like obviously it's not perfect. There's still a lot of parts of the game that I currently am not loving.
Like
I
what?
do not like how we play out from the back. I know
Mm-hmm.
it will improve with Sesko. It will 100% improve with Sesko because
Why will
he's
he
a
improve it?
taller, more physical presence. Yeah,
But
but
we're building
I
from
don't
the
love
back.
it.
Sesko is not at the back. Why is it going to improve with Sesko?
No, I'm talking about the long balls from Euro that
Oh,
Mbuemo
okay.
has to come back for. They could go further to him instead of directly to Mbuemo or Cunha or whoever is there. So I feel like
And
we
then
need to
with
work
Sesko
on that.
and his height advantage, it's easier for us to bring the ball down. Is that what you're saying?
Exactly,
Mm.
exactly,
Okay.
exactly. And also, as you mentioned, like the technical
Mm-hmm.
floor being raised, like you can literally see it in like their first touches. There was this move in the game where I don't know who
Mm-hmm.
gave the ball to Cunha, and he didn't stop it. He just tapped it, wrapped around the player, and just took the ball like 40 yards up the pitch. And I'm like, these things
Exactly.
are lovely to see. other players will probably try to stop it. They'll rush you to the floor or they'll pinch the ball off you and while suffering. It's a counter attack. So it was really nice to see like players with good first touch, composed, like playing composed football, and a lot of confidence as well. Mbemo wasn't at his best today, but you could tell like he is still Mbemo. He's a
I don't
fantastic
know,
player.
man. Like maybe it's because I expected him not to be so fit. That's
Yeah,
why my expectations weren't like so high, so I was okay with his performance because I can remember so not so many times, but there was one particular instance where someone passed the ball to him like it was a shot, and he was able to control the ball and still carry on with the play. Like
you see
things
what I'm
like
saying?
this, being able to hold the ball, control the play, and still continue with the attack is something that we've lacked for like a very long while. Thinking of
A
like
very long
Garte,
time.
who came into the game and had the ball and just ballooned it all the way, like tried to create a chance, and there wasn't anyone there.
Yeah,
He doesn't have that much composure compared to Mbuemo, which is why getting that midfielder that will be able to hold the ball
it's
is
vital.
very, very important. Meno came on, and there was a particular time where he did that express resistance stuff, and he was able to beat the players, which led to a foul. But
Yeah,
I think having two players that have that ability is
ability.
that would be very good because
Yeah,
in a case where um, one injures, like we have another that's going to like cover for him.
precisely. We should have two in every single position, at
Honestly,
least. Honestly, I watched Casemiro today. I believe for me, Casemiro should start ahead of Bugatti. That's just my personal opinion, even with his age and everything. But I saw, like now you can see in this system, you can see some of his lapses. There's sometimes he gets on the ball, and I just feel like you can see how immobile he is now. Like he
exactly.
sluggish to give the ball away, unable to like turn and take the ball. Like we had nobody to carry the ball apart from the two tens today. And it would
Mm.
be really nice if somebody in midfield could do that. When Mino came on, I think Mino had a very good cameo. Like he came on, he was
Yeah,
when he's playing with
exactly.
confidence, he's incredible. That's just the thing with Mino.
when
When
doesn't
he's
when doesn't he play with confidence? To be honest,
no, but
but
like today, there was just I don't know how to explain it, but there was just something there today that I felt wasn't exactly there. I think 2 games ago against I don't know who that was. The draw,
the
the last draw before this one,
last draw.
where he and Ugarte started. It wasn't there that day. The confidence is always there, but like he just maybe his enthusiasm. He didn't play with this much ginger. But yeah, all in all, very good performance. We need a midfielder.
Yeah, 100%. And in a case where we don't get Baleba, is there another midfielder that you think we should pursue?
So for me, I want a midfielder that is mobile and, as I said before, not sluggish. That
Mm-hmm.
he can pass the ball one time and at the same time he could spin and carry the ball a few yards like up the pitch. I won't lie. A lot of people will say Wharton. I have not watched too much of Wharton, but I've seen a few like short clips of him, and I would not mind him. But I've watched more videos of Ederson at Atalanta,
Mm.
and I
Is
would
it
take
is it
him.
that sort of player? Will you say is that sort of player?
Yeah, he is. He's techie, one touch passes. His control is also fair as well.
I think the in terms of midfielders, I honestly don't know too many for that particular position. Wharton seems to be the ideal um, replacement that most people are talking about. But like I said, I
Yeah,
haven't watched too much of Crystal Palace, and even times where we've played Crystal Palace, I he wasn't a standout performer for me at the times when we played
exactly.
Crystal Palace. So I'm not too sure why a lot of people are keen on getting him. But yeah, we'll see what the recruitment does. So now that going taking that into consideration, seeing that we don't have
Yeah.
a midfielder yet, what is your ideal starting lineup against Arsenal
So
next
a
week?
quick note before I give you my starting lineup.
Mhm,
Yeah.
mhm.
The issue with that midfield position now is that like you can't just get a good DM to fill it. They need to have
Mhm.
certain characteristics, which we've discussed like earlier. So that's why it's
Yeah,
so difficult to find a midfielder with those traits that can come in and start.
because
It's going to be
it's
incredibly
not
difficult.
just a midfielder that we're going to get. We just
Exactly.
don't. need
It's the
he
qualities.
per se. It's those particular characteristics that he has. You know,
Yes,
not
it's the
just being
qualities.
able to be a destroyer, but being able to break the lines in defenses, being able to be composed on the ball,
Exactly.
press resistance as well. You know, so
Exactly.
those are the things that are quite very important. We don't just need a destroyer. We don't need another
Exactly.
Garte. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. So for my starting 11, I
Hmm.
think in goal, probably Tom Heaton. Bayender is fair. Personally, Bayender, Tom Heaton, I don't mind, to be completely honest. Either of them could play.
So,
Because,
but not just Onana.
no, I don't think he's fit. That's why I'm not counting him.
I think that there were reports that he was going to return just
But
in
I
time
don't
for
think
the game.
they're
But
going to throw him into the first game of the season.
maybe not.
Because he hasn't played since. I don't think he even played in Shanghai. Like the
No,
first
he
preseason game
played
that we
in.
played with him, he
No.
hasn't played. Yeah, he doesn't. I don't think he's fit enough. So I'll take Altai.
Okay.
RCB, I'll go Lenioro.
Okay.
Center, I'll go Matisse Delete.
Mm-hmm.
And on the left, I like Aiden Heaven, but I have to put Luke Shaw there.
Okay.
I just feel he has errors in him sometimes, maybe, and the pressure is going to be a lot against Arsenal. So
Yeah.
for my left wing back, I'm going to put Patrick Dogu.
Mm-hmm.
Then I'm going Bruno
Mm-hmm.
Casemiro.
Okay.
Then on the right, Ahmad,
Okay.
Mbuemo, Cunha. I'm starting Sesko straight up. Oh,
you don't want it to get used to the team.
ah, let's see.
All right. So for me, starting Bayern there for obvious reasons, where
Yeah,
he's played most of the games in the preseason. Although when Heaton came on, I think it was the game against Bournemouth. I'm not too sure where he had like some amazing
crazy
saves.
save.
But yeah, I'm picking Bayern there. From left to right, I'm picking. I'm not comfortable with Luke Shaw as a left centre back. Since the Spurs game, and the games where he has come on, even today, like I wasn't too comfortable with him driving the ball forward, making the right passes forward. There were a lot of times where I was expecting him to play that quick game and get the ball ahead, but he just recycled it back to the goalkeeper, and I just wasn't too comfortable. So I'm going to have um, Aiden Heaven on the left, Delete in the center, and then Euro on the right. And then in the midfield from left to right, I have Chinaza, Patrick Dog on the left, Bruno in the left center, Casemiro as well. Ugarte, I think he's made a lot of blunders, even in preseason, where the pressure isn't so much that I don't think he deserves to start over Casemiro. So I'll have Casemiro on there because I feel Mino can come in the second half to kind of like maintain and control the balance of the game. And then
Exactly.
on the right, we have Ahmad. And then two tens, Cunha and Mbuemo. And then number nine, I would have
Mason Mount.
Rasmus Højlund. But
Mm.
that's if he is still in the game. I'll have Rasmus Højlund starting because that's the comfortable choice. But the fact that he didn't play today, I think it's an indication that he might go on loan or would leave the team this season and would not. But if he is available, I would rather Højlund starts the game just because Sesko hasn't played with the team at
Yeah,
all.
fitness is very important.
It's very, very important. You don't just want to throw someone into the game and then he doesn't perform well and then you're
I
like,
want to throw him into the game.
it's if you're starting your first game like bad, it
Yeah,
takes a lot to come back. Like see Xerxes, for example, like after he scored against Fulham, he went like on a drought, and then with the booing at Old Trafford and things
expectations.
like that, it take the expectations would increase, and it comes like that with Manchester United. So
Yeah.
do the comfortable choice and have him come on against tired legs in the second half. That would be how I would introduce Sesko into that game. So
No,
that,
understandable. Understandable.
that's my
I just
starting.
want I just want my star boy to start. That's why. But yeah, yeah,
Fair,
you
fair.
complete you
Uh,
spoke facts. And
Hopefully,
another
we'll sort
thing,
out the midfield issue before that time.
hopefully. So another thing is, you
Hmm.
know, they did something today where the front three were just in like constant rotation. That was actually like it was
Yeah,
very nice to
yeah.
see as well. And I'm hoping we won't have to, but
I don't, I
just
don't, I don't, I don't buy it. Like it's fun to see and have so much versatile players that can rotate within that three.
yeah.
But it's not just about it looking fancy, but it has to work.
A nine
And
is a
I don't
nine.
think Cunha being isolated up top would work for us.
Me neither.
Umbumo was able, which is why I kept saying like I don't see why you made that fitness a standard for Umbumo because even with that lack of fitness, like he was still very alright. Because at the point where it was during his own rotation where he had to stay up front, he was still able to connect a few passes. But by the time where it was Konya up front, like if there was a bit of isolation there, and I don't know if it was because he had to come back or he was asked to just stay ahead. But I wasn't too comfortable with him being up
I
top.
feel
He's the ball carrier. He's the one that has to create.
yeah.
Okay, so I don't think him being up top would work for
No,
us. Collins
I get
specifically.
that, but you see them with the link up thing. I feel like them, like either one of them being up top, I think it boils down to their style of play, how
Mm.
Mbuemo sees the position and how Cunha sees the position. But yeah, I would like a nine. If we're going to play 1-9, it should be someone that was brought up playing as a nine, not a makeshift nine. So I agree with you. Unless we're playing two up top, then I could maybe say Cunha and Mbuemo can do something. But yeah, I get you.
All right then. I think with that, I don't really have any other thing to add to today. Just going into next season, I wanted us to talk about our expectations of that Arsenal's game.
Yeah.
Do you think we should continue our predictions as we did
For
last
sure.
season, but rather than scores, but we can just do win, draw, or lose for either
I
team.
think that would be a nice
I think
twist.
that's much easier rather than
Yeah, it's so.
on the usual. But yeah. So good episode this and high hopes for United going into next season. Yeah, but
Fingers crossed.
with the team that we have now, where do you think United will finish next season?
I know it's going to be super difficult, but I'm not going to be delusional. But I think if they keep growing, top six.
That this is the point we are now as United.
We're not
I
even saying
think
top four. We're not saying the league. We're saying top
I
six.
think we would finish in top four comfortably. It's like and I'm considering that one game a week
Yeah.
factor is that we are not playing as many games as the clubs that are on top of us or the clubs that we will be competing against. They will be playing in Europe and FA Cup. We will just be playing like in the league, and when the FA or Carabao Cup starts, like we will play twice a week. But like aside that, it's mostly going to be once a week. Or when the fixtures get really congested, we'll be playing the
Yeah.
same amount of Premier League games as everyone else. But
Exactly.
I think that
And
factor to start with. It's just unfortunate that our fixtures, like month after month, we don't have a particular easy month where we can capitalize on. But yeah,
no, but
I
we
think
move.
we've comfortably finished top
We,
four.
we we put ourselves in this like weird position, but we'll come
Mm.
out on top. And another thing is, I'm glad we actually don't have Europe because, from what I've seen, there have been improvements in the team, but it's pretty clear that it's not like 8/10 what Amorim wants. It's not that
Mm-hmm.
good yet.
Mm-hmm.
So
Mm-hmm.
I'm glad that there's less pressure and more time to actually instill his like tactics, values, and everything into the players. So
Yeah.
it's end up being a benefit at the end of the day. Not getting Europe,
All right, then. We'll see how it
hopefully.
goes. And
Mm.
yeah, thank you for watching. And we're going to see you in the next episode. And tell us what your predictions are for the next season for Manchester United, or if you support any other team, tell us what you think the predictions for your team would be for next season. And we'll see you next time.